Ernest Charles Grondin, born July the 22nd, 1935. I was an auditor for Chrysler. Now I can't do that. You know, today I can't even balance my own bank book.
Dementia affects everybody. It's not something that the person who has dementia only experiences on their own. It affects everybody in their family, it affects their friends, and then, it ripples out.
Even though you have this diagnosis, your life does not end. You can still be out there and show the world that you can still do things like this.
One of the things that I learned is that for people with dementia, emotion is really, it becomes very powerful. People are really sensitive to emotions when you have dementia. And of course, emotion is what drives theater. So if you play the emotion, you're playing the honesty of it, then it really doesn't require anything special or unique.
After hearing from some other people that it was kind of a fun thing to do, I talked my husband into going, even though he didn't want to get out of the car when we got there. But he's enjoyed it and loved it so much that it's great for him and me.
First of all, we just play with them. When you start to play and you start to laugh with each other, you give each other permission to act out, to be silly, to do things differently. And then when you ask them to act a character, it's just all part of the game. So it really is a game-based kind of methodology.
David and Joan make everything so much fun that they bring things out of you that you didn't know you could do. I didn't think I would want to perform, but I did have stories that I could tell because I've been caregiving my mother for 11 years. She has dementia. I've had a lot of help and guidance and aha experiences about my own journey by working with these people.
A lot of people think that when you have the diagnosis of dementia, it means the end. Oh, my life is over. And it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that there are certain things that you used to do or used to know that you no longer know or can do.
One side and then the other. One side.
They were also able to access their distant memories. Because of course when you have dementia, there's all, you remember what happened a million years ago more than you do now.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Many long years ago. Many long years ago. Oh, the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. Many long years ago.
There's a big stigma around it. Let's lock them away. Let's hide them. Let's pretend, that it doesn't exist. The humanness is still there. We are still a human being in spite of. So we still need love and we need to be loved. How to treat a person like a human being. With gentleness, kindness, and allow them to be sometimes. Allow them to be.
When the actors are telling their story to the audience, that's such a powerful moment because they are seeing the other people on stage who are expressing how vibrant their lives are and how who they were isn't who they are, and that there's something at the core of you that transcends disease.
talked in amongst ourselves about the various stories, and we decided the kind of scenarios that we wanted to talk about. So we don't do a script because nobody can remember the words. So, but we know the outline of what it is that we're trying to show you. We just act as though we were what we would actually do in our lives, in our situation. So that's what we're doing.
The openness and honesty and integrity with which the actors inspires them to tell their stories and to begin to make connections and to feel that they are part of a bigger community.
Mom, the carving knife is in the fridge. That is so dangerous.
And the stats tell us that in Canada there are 564,000 people living with dementia, and that in 15 years 937,000 people.
You shouldn't be outside. Because it's raining. Oh, but it's so nice. Nice, it's wet. Do you not like getting baths and showers? Not particularly. Oh, okay. I can sing it long. Do-de-do-de-do.
Some of the people who have signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's or dementias, and they're very different, realize that these people are just people. And even though they may not respond to situations the way the rest of us do, they're still fine and enjoying life. Made me more aware that some of the situations I have in my life of not being able to remember things, and that's fine, that's part of the aging process. You don't have to put names and titles on it.
Another song. When the red, red robin goes bob, bob, bobbing along, and cheer up, the sun is red. Live, love, laugh and be happy. I knew I was blue, now I'm walking through fields. When the red, red robin goes bob, bob, bobbing along. Two more times. When the red